The first actual trailer for The Suicide Squad dropped about 30 seconds ago, and it's a red band trailer. Let's do this.
You gotta be kidding me. You're gonna risk the entire mission for a mental defective dressed as a court jester.
It's coming from a guy that wears a toilet seat on his head.
We don't leave one of our own behind.
Hopefully Harley's still alive.
No funny business, Colonel. These are dangerous people.
Team 2 is clear to go.
Fire on. 3, 2.
What are you guys doing?
What?
We're here to save you.
You were gonna save me?
It was a really good plan, too.
Well, I can go back inside and you can still do it.
That's patronizing.
I'm so sorry. Harley Quinn.
Blood sport.
You know the deal. Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence. Times are hard. You fail to follow my orders in any way, and I detonate the explosive device in the base of your skull.
So this is the famous Suicide Squad.
Num.
Any questions?
And
Yes, that is your hand. Very good.
we're all gonna die.
I hope so.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Here's the deal. We fail the mission, you die.
If we find out any information you give us is false, you die.
If we find out you have personalized license plates, you die.
What? No.
If you cough without covering your mouth.
Harley, although that isn't an open invitation for you to cough without covering your mouth.
What's the plan?
How the hell am I supposed to know?
You're the leader. You're supposed to be decisive.
And I've decided that you should eat a big bag of dicks.
If this whole beach was completely covered in dicks, and somebody said I had to eat every dick until the beach was clean for liberty, I would say no problemo.
Why would someone put penises all over the beach?
Who knows why madmen do what they do?
This is suicide. Well, that's kind of our thing.
Don't you worry, eh? I'm gonna get you out of here alive.
I'm going to get you out of here alive.
Oh my God! We've got a freaking kaiju up in this shit!
We love the rain. It's like angels are splooching all over us.
All right, so real quick before I give my thoughts on it, go ahead and join me down below in the comments section. Let me know what you thought about it. Also, I did a video where I talked about my most anticipated DC movies coming up, so if you want to know my thoughts on all the upcoming DC movies, you can check that out right up here. I'm going to watch it one more time, and then I'm going to start talking. Alrighty, so immediately, that feels absolutely nothing like David Ayer's films, and it has James Gunn's vibe all over the entire thing. From the look, to the type of humor, to even the song playing throughout the soundtrack, this feels like a James Gunn movie. And to keep in mind, like, James Gunn is most famous, of course, for doing Guardians of the Galaxy, working for Disney, working for Mickey Mouse in kind of the confines of the MCU. That's what he's most famous for. But he's been working for over 20 years in the film industry. He started working on Troma films, which are very weird, are indie, tough to describe Troma. You have to experience Troma. And then, like, he wrote the script for Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, a movie that it's very rated R and involves lots of people getting eaten alive. He did this movie called Super 10 years ago that kind of got him the job for Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a superhero movie starring Rainn Wilson that's hard R, very dark comedy. Like, the vibe, the way that his brain works isn't really in line with how Mickey Mouse's brain works. He's much more attuned to rated R by default. And if you're familiar with my channel, you know I've had a lot of criticisms regarding this Galaxy Volume 2, and a lot of it dealt with kind of that you felt the James Gunnisms, and I didn't feel like they always meshed perfectly with the MCU and the world it was in. an R-rated Suicide Squad is like the perfect place to take these set of skills that he's developed over 20 years. He's worked with ensembles, obviously Guardians of the Galaxy, long history working on rated R stuff. And so you put that together and working on obviously big blockbusters for Mickey Mouse, now doing it for Warner Brothers. That feels like the right team up. And as I mentioned before, the vibe of the whole thing is just different. A lot of familiar faces, same premise of the Suicide Squad, but the actual execution, the flavor, the style, all of that, very different, matching what you'd expect James Gunn to do instead. So, a lot of solid laughs in there, a lot of just shocking moments of violence that appreciate that they're actually going for it. This is even kind of one of the problems with the previous Suicide Squad is they had a very rated R premise that they squeezed into a PG-13 rating. There's many other problems with it as well, but I love the fact that they're like, yeah, go for it. Do it. Take this premise and go all the way with it, and they want you to see that in the trailer itself. Other thing about it, from all the marketing, you can really tell that they're going for a certain amount of the vibe from the classic movies like The Dirty Dozen. If you look at the posters and stuff, like you can get that sort of vibe. They're going for bananas. They're going very comic booky, which I appreciate all of that. I have very positive vibes that'll be good, of course. But at the same time, it's also one of this weird experiment of doing something so cartoony and R-rated, following up a movie that wasn't so much that, had a different vibe and not the best reputation. It's an experiment, and I love that they're doing this experiment. I can't wait to check it out. Let me know what you thought down below in the comment section. If you want to check out that video with my level of excitement for all the announced DC movies, it's right over there. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much.